Joined by head football coach Bob Chesney. Coach, guys just coming off the first day of doubles, what are your impressions of the team's performance so far?
Yeah, it's our first day of doubles, so we haven't had a lot of time together, but I think that was the day that was going to just test everybody a little bit. It was finally hot out. It was hot in the morning. It was hot in the afternoon. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. So I think we reacted somewhere where we probably around where we thought we would as a coaching staff. I think we definitely need a little bit more mental toughness. We need to be able to handle some adversity a little bit and just step up in that regard. I think our older guys and our leaders did a nice job. I think that as a whole, though, we're certainly expecting more. That's not necessarily exactly what we had hoped for. It's kind of what we thought, but we're hoping for a little bit more. So that's something we definitely got to be able to improve on.
And in the three areas, offense, defense, and special teams, has anybody stepped up and kind of surprised you?
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of young, our senior leadership is great. When you look across the board, those guys are phenomenal. There's, that will speak for itself. But I think there's some really, there's a lot of young guys coming in right now that are hungry and that are competing, coming from some good football programs where they have, won in the past and are used to winning and understand that urgency that it takes to have on a daily basis. I like the push from that younger group. I wouldn't necessarily single any one person out. We're only, 5 days into it right now, or six practices into it right now, but at the same time, I think there's some, young guys as a group that are beginning to push.
And it's pretty obvious during one of your practices, very high tempo, high energy. Is that something you really focus on?
I think so. As a coaching staff, that's something that we all demand of one another as coaches, is to be able to make sure that we're excited, that we're having fun with it, and that we're pushing the tempo in everything we do. There's, really walking around the field is not something that we're going to really tolerate a whole lot from our players or our coaches. And I think being able to be out there and push that tempo and push people to maybe to the limits a little bit is what we're all here and hoping to do.
I know there's a lot of competition for different spots. One person, tight end Scott Simonson, I think he's in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
Just talk a little bit about, not to really single one person out, but to just talk a little bit about what Scott brings to the team.
I think he brings, obviously brings a lot to the team on the offensive side. He's very physical. As far as blocking, you watch some of the blocks that he executes, it's violent, and he does a very, very good job of making sure his feet are coming with us, and he uses his strength very well. At the same time, though, you talk about a tight end and you say those words that I just used to describe a tight end, and you think, okay, well, that's it. I wonder if he can catch. Well, he can catch. Not only can he catch, but he can run. He executes and runs very, very precise routes. He catches just about everything around him, and I think whether he's split out wide or whether he's a tight end or whether he's motioning or whatever it might be, he's going to be a little bit of an issue for any team I think we face on a daily basis. I know he's an issue for our team defensively, so it's good to see him continuing those ways.
And you talked about the temperatures heating up as it does heat up here, and you wrap up your first full week of practice. What should we expect to see?
I think more of the same as far as the tempo and really just making sure that we're pushing one another, and not just from us as coaches, but I think coaches pushing one another, players pushing one another, and we talk about having a lot of peer pressure, but positive peer pressure, to not accept it and to hold each other accountable. We did a little thing with our team and asked what we think best represents what a good teammate can be classified as, and accountability has come up on the top every single time we've done that. So it's no different here as we've gone through that. We did that same exact exercise, and accountability has been number one. So whether we're in the classroom, whether we're in a meeting room, or whether we're on the field, that's something that we're going to make sure we do, is hold each other accountable.
Well, great. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Ken.